Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the first live stream that I have ever done. Got my friend, mentor, and new brother from another mother, Ken Walls here. He's going to be talking with us today. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing today? How are you getting through all this stuff that's going on? And I got my $10 bifocals on here so I can see your comments, so we can interact, have a good time. Share this out. We'll give you a shout out. Comment, and we'll be sharing your comments and talking. This is an interactive dialogue. It's one of the reasons I asked Ken, and I'm so glad that he's doing this, because he is the master at it. He is the leading authority at live streaming with over 2,000 interviews under his belt. Think about that. Over 2,000 interviews under his, that he's done on live stream. He has gotten very, very good at it, and he has interviewed some amazing people. Now think about this. I've done radio and now TV. So I've got a couple hundred interviews in my packet, if you will. So who do I hang out with? I find the guy that's got 2,000 plus. So just a mindset tip for you. Who are you hanging with right now? Or how are you staying in the middle? Ken, sorry, I had to dive into that for a second. How you doing, my friend?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. Thank you. And I just for clarity purposes, I've done on my show, I've done, I don't know, 250 maybe interviews.
Okay.
But in total, I mean, I've done a lot of live streams, a lot of interviews like this.
Mm-hmm.
In total, it's well over 2,000 live streams that I've done, but I've only done like 250 interviews. I think 230, 250, somewhere in there. I don't know the exact number.
I'm sorry, only 250. Well, see, okay, as you're watching this, I'm totally wrong. We're going to shut it all down now. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Right.
But that is a lot. That is a lot of interviews. Because you recently had a live stream with Mark Victor Hansen.
Yep.
Crystal Dwyer Hansen, his amazing wife.
Yep.
And Glenn Morshower. I mean, those are three incredible human beings.
They're amazing.
To be able to have that kind of conversation with.
I just got finished, as a matter of fact, with an hour and a half long interview with Glenn Morshower on my show.
Yes. Oh, and I so wanted to do that. I was doing show prep for this and first time jitters and everything. Wanted it to be not as bad as it might have been otherwise.
Oh, it's no, man. I think
I'm just having fun with it.
I think that's where, a lot of people get incredibly nervous. And I've said it a million times. The first time I went live, I was nervous as a hooker in church. I was terrified, and I had all my employees there in the conference room, and I literally made an ass out of myself, saying, everybody, all right, look, just everybody calm down. I'm getting ready to go live. And they're like, we're calm. You're the one freaking out, and it just took a lot of trial and error, if you would. So, but I've not perfected it, but I've gotten pretty okay at it.
Well, but here's a key insight that you taught me. And it was one of those blinding flash of the obvious as soon as you said it. It's a one-on-one conversation.
That's it.
Because that's one of the keys to speaking from stage. You got 300, 400, 1,000 people in front of you. It's still one-to-one. It's not to a group.
Right.
But this is so much more interactive too.
It is much. I speak from stages as well. And what's interesting is speaking from a stage, you always wonder, like, how did they feel? Right. How do they like my speech? And you get some feedback, obviously, during a speech. You can see audience faces and what their body language is, how many people get up to go to the bathroom, things like that.
Yes.
What's cool about doing live streams is you get to go to the bathroom with them. So
I like that.
Like, they might get up to go to the bathroom, but they take you with them. So
yeah.
No,
wait a minute. As you're watching this, please, especially if it's a replay, put it on pause, go do what you need to do, and then come back. You really don't need to take us with you. But we appreciate the thought. I appreciate the thought.
Let's go to the bathroom. That's the thing is and you know, we're going through this whole lockdown thing, this pandemic.
Yeah.
and
Right.
and
Right.
man, there's never been a better time ever in the history of the world to get attention. And people are terrified of pressing that button that says go live, or you know, using the StreamYard like you are. You got on my, you're doing my course, and
Yep.
and
Yes.
learning to do this better. And you know, that's all an investment of money and time to learn how to perfect this. Eric Cornelius is on here, my lord. Don't put it.
Hey, Eric. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. But he was on with where when I interviewed Glenn Morshower a little bit ago. But you know, I think that I don't care what business you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the new currency is attention, and the more, you know, the more that you can get your name out there, get known, whether it's doing something like this where you're doing a live stream, and this is the very first episode of your show, and I'm very grateful that you invited me to be on it, by the way. I'm honored, you know. But you know, people will do this and have a handful of people show up, and then they go, well, it's not for me. I mean, I watched Ken Walls and he had 30, 40, 50 people in the stream, and I only had, you know, well, you got seven or eight in here. Eric hopefully left.
Well, and by the way, Eric, thank you for confirming that there's actually someone interacting and paying attention. I feel so validated now.
Right. So I shared it out. So, you know,
and thank you for sharing it out. Oh, there we go. Numbers are jumping. We got 11 people now. Yay.
Yeah, we're hitting double digits. I see Jude Acuff on here, super guy. So yeah,
thank
man.
you, Jude.
Yeah. Hey, Jude. So yeah, man. What did I answer your question? Eric's still here.
Do we need to shake him off, or?
He's good. He's a good dude.
Having some fun with you, Eric. Thanks for being here. Well, but it's I want to talk a little bit about your background, because it's just fascinating how you've been through build business, and you've been ups and downs, built multiple businesses. Before we get there, I want to talk about the new show that you started on Sunday evenings with Glenn Morshower, with Ken, Glenn, and a guy named Scott.
The Ken and Glenn show with
the Ken and Glenn show. I'll get the name eventually correct. The Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. I finally got it. Sorry about that. The Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott. I watched your first, I was there for your first episode. It was awesome to be part of that. And it dawned on me, you guys are kind of breaking the paradigm, I think, on TV. I had this sense of watching the future of what's going to happen, because it was great. It was great interactive TV in terms of like a really fun TV talk show format, but there was also the interaction with the audience.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's 3 high-level players that are doing this, you know, it was something that was, I was listening going, I'm not really sure what this is, but this is new. This is a new paradigm, and you guys are leading it.
Yeah. You know, of course, Glenn Morshower is, I mean, like, the guy has probably one of the most recognizable faces on television. He's been in hundreds and hundreds of movies and TV shows, and then Scott McCain is in the speaker and sales and speakers Hall of Fame, and he's spoken on stages all over the world. So I mean, those two guys are both legends. And I'm a legend in my own mind. You know, I joke about that, but
you're certainly a legend in the live stream space now.
Well, I mean, how do you become a legend? The way you become a legend is, I mean, you could be the worst golfer in the world and still be a legend, you know? So I think that it's a matter of action, like, you know. And so Glenn called me and said, hey man, after we had done many live streams together, Glenn calls and he says, hey buddy, I have a proposition for you. And I said, okay. And he says, I want to do a show with you. And I said, what? Really? And he says, Eric's funny. Good job, new guy. That's so funny. So, so I have 8 seasons of 24 to get through. That is so funny. Anyway, he said today when I was interviewing Glenn, Eric said, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to binge watch 24. So, but you know, I mean, so we started this, and then Scott hopped on a live stream. I invited him on, and Glenn was like, "Oh my God, we got to have this guy as part of the show." And so that's where we came up with this whole thing. And you know, we're constantly talking about on the phone or in Messenger or whatever. We're constantly talking about ways to improve the show, make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool about that is, you know, I have Breakthrough Walls, my daily show that I do where I interview celebrities and entrepreneurs. But what's cool about the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott is there are 3 of us and we're collaborating. We're all talking about how can we make it better? Which celebrity can we have on next? And those 2 guys have Rolodexes for, and you know, a lot of younger people won't know what a Rolodex is, but those 2 guys have
it's like a physical contact list from your phone.
Yeah,
it actually rolls with little cards with print and writing on them.
Yeah. So, but those guys have, you know, like unbelievable contacts. I mean, I was just in Glenn's acting class the other night, and he had Melina Kanakarides on.
Wow.
And she was in there teaching and telling her story and helping the acting students. And I got to talk to her. Glenn introduced me as his brother to her. And which was really, really amazing. And she's got a 40+ year acting career. It's just amazing. I honestly, and that's why I say, you know, look, you've got to get attention. 6 years ago, I heard a guy named Grant Cardone say, you've got to get attention. And I was like, this guy is insane, man. What's that even mean? Like, what's he mean? And this is my least favorite view.
Sorry, I clicked. Okay. Viewers, this is the laugh at me while I'm trying something that didn't work the way I thought it would. So there's me.
There's you.
I want to. So how? Okay. Coach me here. I just wanted to spotlight you for a second.
Oh, well, there's a little gray there to do that. There's a little gray block above my little thumbnail picture, or on the thumbnail. You click that and it goes to solo layout.
So the button that I'm looking at that you guided me to that says solo layout, if I want you on solo layout, I push the solo layout button.
That's it.
Who knew? Okay, here we go, folks. Let's see if I can get this to, hey,
there. But yeah, so you know, what was I don't even remember what I was
glad to disrupt you about getting attention.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I heard Grant talk about that, and I was like, you know, what does that mean? So I really started studying what he was saying. There's my brother Doug. We don't need to zoom on. Oh, it's hilarious. So, you know, I said, okay, I'm in. I'm gonna get attention, and so I really I start because I'm very passionate about helping people and delivering a message of hope to people. And so I just started going live a lot. And man, it worked. It worked. I've been able to help a lot. I get messages every single day from complete strangers that have been watching, sometimes briefly and sometimes for years, that say that, you know, my live streams and the content that I deliver has changed their life and helped them significantly. And you know what, man, I there's just not a better feeling in the world than that.
Well, that ties back into what I'd wanted to ask you about, you know, the arc of your life, because you've really moved into a season in life where you're very service focused with your business, with helping other people on a personal level,
Yeah.
because you've been through it. I mean, you've been in the mix, as they
Yeah.
say in the military, up and down. And
Yeah.
how do you go? Because businesses like that, as you're watching this, if you're an entrepreneur, there's those late nights, there's waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, what did I miss, or how am I going to solve this problem?
Right.
And there's those occasional speed bumps. I've hit them, but full dead run, hit that speed bump and face plant into the pavement. How do you keep getting back up after running into life's challenges? You've built multiple businesses, you've recovered from devastating circumstances in life.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm sorry. I actually was leading up to a question. Eventually, could you share a little bit about how it is that you got through that when many other people are struggling or just not quite getting there?
Well, I can honestly say that I don't feel like I always got through it in the best manner. There were times where I lost my cool. There were times where I, completely was an idiot. I handled things the wrong way. But I never gave up. I just never gave up. I on myself, my brother. And my brother's 6'5.5". I have, or 6 foot. I don't know, way taller than me. I'm 6 foot. But I never gave up on me, man. I was always like, look, I have to figure this out no matter what it is. Hey, Jennifer, I have to figure out how to get back up. And too many people, I mean, life is all about that. It's all about the ups and the downs, and it's true character is shown not when everything is going right. I mean, it's easy to be happy and grateful and giving and loving and all of that when everything's going well for you. Your true character comes out when everything's going wrong for you. And so for me, it's like, and knowing that and being that are two different things, right? So when I've hit those lows in life and fallen down and face planted or whatever, it's like, well, what other option do I have? Like, I'm a recovered alcoholic with over 17 years sober. What do I do? Go back to that? Go back to drinking and maybe dying a quick death, or being a self-centered, egotistical maniac? Or do I just keep going? Look, man, it's when things are going wrong that I need to be giving more to the world. When things are going wrong, it's typically because I'm focused on what I don't have, what I'm not getting, or something I'm afraid of losing. And so if I say, well, you know what? I'm not afraid of losing anything. In fact, Jennifer needs a hand up. Hey, I'm going to help Jennifer, or my brother Doug, or anybody. Except for Eric. I would not help Eric. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love Eric. Well, but
that was demonstrated in how we met.
Yeah.
You were on a live stream with Bob Donnell and Glenn Morshower. I had gotten a heads up from them, tapped into the live stream. I was like, oh, wow, this was amazing. We're interacting on that.
Yeah.
2 days later, you're giving me an hour and a half of your time on the phone.
Yeah.
So we can get to know each other. Yeah. And that's such a different, those are the kind of people that, as you're watching this, think about that. Who are you seeking out? Those are the kind of people I'm seeking out. Personally, it's like I got because I know Bob and Glenn, I got to meet Ken. Ken has led me to helping me redo my business model to move through this and be successful in what's beyond by tapping into live stream and more. He's got a lot more on the table. So it's fun to watch you walk that.
I definitely, I walk what I talk. And I think, again, I see a lot of people. I love my brother. Doug is an amazing human being, but Doug needs to be doing live streams talking about what he does. I don't know what Jennifer does, but if if Jennifer is trying to earn a living or shift gears right now, because a lot of people right now have to shift, they have to go in a different direction with their career, or at least learn something new. People need to be getting attention. And I'm not saying live streaming is the only thing that people need to be doing, but you need to be getting on video. Like and the problem is we allow the fear of judgment, what other people are going to think or say, we allow that to stop us, which again, I've done that, been there a million times, bought the t-shirt and wore it out. But like, if you don't start working on getting attention and tooting your own horn a little bit about what, and I'm not saying get on and say, hey, look how awesome I am. I'm saying get on and introduce yourself to the world, and do it over and over and over.
Yes, absolutely. Repetition helps.
It does.
Sure. I'm watching the time, and I know you've got a packed schedule. We've just got a couple minutes left. So I've benefited from, full disclosure, as you're watching this, I met Ken. He has a course on live streaming. I tapped into that. Phenomenal help. Highly recommended. Right. But Ken, you also do work with large companies around the world. You've built a really large business that you're very, very humble about as well. Could you share some on that, and then how it's possible to tap into what you're doing and stay connected with you personally?
Well, I have a website. I want to, it sounds so arrogant, but if you Google me, if you Google me, there's so many there. I'm blown away by it. Honestly. Look, just to share a little bit about in 12th grade, I was told I didn't get a biology credit, and in turn, I wasn't going to graduate. And I tried negotiating with them, and they would not negotiate on that. And I'm like, biology sucked. I hated biology. But anyway, like I did, I'm like, I'm never dissecting a frog again in my life. Not sure how that really is going to be important. And as it turns out, it hasn't been. Because I walked out that day and I never looked back. And I've had a lot of college graduates work for me. But over the years, it's more about it's learning from people like Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Jeffrey Gitomer and the fact is now Julie Ziegler, Zig's daughter, is a dear friend of mine. So's Cindy Ziegler. So's Tom Ziegler. Julie Ziegler is a client of mine. We built her website. And so, I've gotten into this web development world. I started doing it as a hobby back in 1994. I mean, 26 years ago.
Wow, that's way in the early days. That's like back when dinosaurs were roaming the internet.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly a new concept, So I've done all of this for all these years, and I'm humble and grateful I'm humbled by the fact that I can pick up my phone and call Glenn Morshower and he will answer 99% of the time. He will answer. Hey, my other brother, Doug Walls with a Z, is watching also. He spells his name wrong. But anyway, so I'm humbled that I can pick up the phone and call a guy like that, or I can call Mark Victor Hansen. Mark called me a couple days ago needing my help on something, this big event he's speaking in with Jack Canfield and all these other people, and he needed my help. And it just blows me away that I get these phone calls, that I have these clients, it blows me away. So, it requires showing up and continuing to take action no matter what happens. Because look, man, there's been so many times where I'm like, this is it. We're dead. It's over. We're done. It's over. Let's throw in the towel. And, I don't know. Then I have a shift of thinking, oh, that means I got to go work for somebody. No, I better keep going.
That's a motivator right there.
It is.
I'm at a point in life where I'm just eminently unemployable.
Oh, I am too. I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, man.
Ken, I'm sorry we're out of time. I told you we'd wrap on 30, short of 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Definitely want to keep that, stay true to that, and keep chewing my words for everybody's entertainment. But have you got a parting thought?
Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I'm on Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. Can do a TikTok. So follow me. Go to kenwalls.com. That's where all of my information and social media platforms, all of that's out there.
So you really, as you're watching this, when you're done, go to kenwalls.com and start learning more about Ken. Reach out to him. It's just, he's phenomenal businessman, coach, and human being. Ken, thank you for your time.
Dude, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
And thank you for, being part of the first ever Wolf's Watch. We'll be doing this on a semi-regular basis and hopefully providing some fun entertainment and good information for you. We'll see you then. Thanks.